Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be bringing you the new palette from Fantasy Cosmetica in collaboration with Betty Bean or Betty Jean. So this is the Witch's Familiar palette. This has been out for a bit at the time of me now purchasing it. Originally when I saw it, I really have been trying to be a bit more on a no buy, but now kind of, going through and figuring out stuff. Or low buy, I guess I should say. I have really been intrigued a lot more with some of the makeup that has been coming out. I tend to love witchy stuff, so I just had to. And I also love Betty Jean, so, we had to support Fantasy Cosmetica as well as a brand that I absolutely love. So I'm so happy to have this. So let's go ahead and delve into some details, some swatches, and all that fun stuff. All right, so at the time of filming this palette is currently $49.99. I would say a pretty affordable palette, especially for what we are seeing on the market lately. I would say around 50 bucks, especially for an indie brand, is really great. I'm just super excited to, again, be able to support an indie brand that I absolutely love. But I think let's go ahead and just talk through some of these swatches. So what I think I'm going to do real quick is swatch out the mattes on my hand. I tend to not do that live, but we will do live the shimmers because I just think that's a bit more exciting. But that way we can see if I do feel like any of the mattes aren't as great. So let me do that real quick and we'll be right back. All right, so here is our matte swatched out. Let's just go ahead and actually talk them a little bit. So I will say this red shade, holy cow, a very pigmented red. This shade here, I would say you do need to build up a little bit. But again, absolutely no problem at all. Just this is like some of these shades, like I would say are very creamy. So the red, I feel like the lighter purple and this aqua kind of turquoisey shade, in my opinion, are extremely creamy. Very easy to kind of like one swatch, put them on. Like I said, this shade is a bit more, teeny bit more on that, I don't know if you would say powdery kind of side, but it did build up super well, a little bit similar to this purple. And then the shade as well did also have that kind of powderiness. But I do feel like they all, obviously, you see, build up really well. I did not have any of them that I felt were incredibly difficult to build up. I would say all of these are basically between 1 and 2 kind of swipes, so not bad at all. And I do like that. Something as well to keep in mind is my preference is I tend to prefer a darker color story palette. So the blue, I would say, can definitely probably come across a bit more. Like, I would say it still comes across this way, but when I do the tutorial of the eyeshadow, I personally feel like I really have to build it up to get like a super strong depth that I like. But it is nice that if you don't necessarily want that, you are able to kind of soften it more and get it to work with some of the other shades. So if you don't, not everybody, of course, wants that super deep kind of thing. And also, I will say this palette, minus this dark shade, is a pretty mid-tone palette, which I don't tend to go through or go for. There's just something about this color story. And I will also acknowledge the fact of the title of The Witch's Familiar. It's just such a, I don't know, I love witchy stuff. Will I be honest and say that the cover art and probably the title sold me? Yes, but I do think the color story is also absolutely gorgeous. And I really am enjoying getting to know it. If you have seen in other videos of mine, I'm really kind of in this feeling now where unless a palette is just super outside of like something that I would love, I really don't feel like I have much of a preference as in terms of eyeshadow palettes. Like I feel like I'm kind of like, if it's within the color story that I like, I would probably get any of them, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of spooky palettes coming out right now. I could buy all of them. I don't have the money to buy all of them, but I could buy and use all of them. So I feel like it's kind of just seeing, so again, The Witch is Familiar, like something that's more kind of my preference is just more helping me to decide. Sorry for this rambliness. Let's go ahead and start talking about some of the shimmers because I definitely do have some thoughts. So first things first, we're going to go in with this stunning shade here, which is called Spells, which is a red metallic shade. So I personally feel like it is a hair on the more probably orangey red metallic. I feel like And it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I really do feel like certain shades, red must be one of them, that must be really hard to do a shimmer for. So though I do love this, I do wish that it was one of the more glitterier shimmers, which we will see later. But I am definitely going to do a look. I really want to kind of just do a look and just see how I feel about it, where I honestly use these two shades with this, like outer corner, main color, and then this, like a monochrome moment. It's gonna feel weird for me because I don't feel like I do that, but I also don't like, I tend to go more depth, which these are gonna be kind of a very similar color story. So I'm gonna be really curious with, again, getting to know this palette and just see how I feel about it, because this might explode into magicalness. So that's my biggest thing right now, is I'm really trying to be open-minded with my eyeshadows and be like, let me get to know them. Because I feel like it's so easy to judge and be like, you know, whatever, which I'm still, of course, my opinion is still going to be, I do wish that this was glitterier. You know, I think I've only ever seen, they don't exist anymore, but I think September Rose had this like all reddish palette, and they did have a glittery red, I believe. And it was pretty dang good. I wish that this reminds me a lot, if you have, I'm blanking, but I know that there's another palette out there that has this kind of like reddish, slightly leaning orangey, coppery, in my opinion, but it's still a stunning shade. Sorry, I'm talking too much. Let's go ahead, move on next. So this one is actually really fun. I can't wait to use it. So this is the shade Alter, and I don't feel like it looks like it in the palette on camera, but when I first see it, maybe it's because it's near all these purples, it looks purple to me. I don't think it looks purple on camera. I'm assuming it is a duochrome, but I think that there is some purple, there is some green, there almost looks to be some gray. This is going to be one of the shades that I'm just going to be so excited to play with and just to see. And again, I really feel like it is going to help to challenge me, because this is a bit of a darker base shadow. I tend to use those kind of as my outer corner, not an all over lid kind of shade. So I am going to be very curious to see. Now, granted, we do have another shade, which I will show you, which we will pair with that one. But yeah, that's my kind of thought about that one. Really pretty. And I feel like this has, you can probably see, a stronger sheen than the red. Again, not bad, it's just different. Okay, we're gonna go in with the shade Herbs, or Herbs, depending on where you're from. So this one as well is just a nice, I would say, softer sparkle than this one, or even maybe the red. There is sheen to it, but it's definitely not an overly sparkly shade. So again, I feel like for me, just because I love the punchiness of really sparkly shades, I'm always gonna want that more, but I also understand that not everybody wants that. So I get that they need to be fair and create things for more people. And I do feel like this is a really pretty one. When I played with shades like this before, it's interesting if you do like an all matte eye and then just kind of pop this on the lid. I really feel like, or like a smoky eye, I really feel like it gives a chance for these really interesting shimmers in here to pop. Like if you have like a black smoky lid and you just pop this on top, I'm sure it would create some magicalness. All right, let's go ahead, delve into probably going to be my two favorite of the shimmer shades. We're going to start off with the shade Oracle first. Just, I mean, oh, wet, glittery gorgeousness. I mean, this might even be my favorite shade of the palette. I feel like it's not looking great on camera, but trust me, it is just gorgeous. You will see we use it in the tutorial. It is the main shade that is on my lid, not the inner part of the eye, but on like the main lid itself. I think it's just so, it's just glittery and gorgeous, and I'm in heaven. I absolutely love it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next shade, Hex, which I do have on the inner part of my eye. And this one as well is kind of that same thing. I think this one might be a bit more on that slightly, they might see flaky side, but I do feel like it lays down really well. I would not say overly flaky, but it is just right here. Absolutely stunning. Really, just really pretty. And I feel like as I'm seeing this, I love how many different color combinations I can see, like looks to create, because even though it is a curated down color story, which in a way I kind of love, there is a lot of different, like you can do Valentine's Day with this. You can do, again, lots of spooky. You can do probably some just lots of different looks that I'm just so excited to create, challenge myself, really just play with. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. Okay, and we're going to take, last but not least, is going to be the shade Moonlight right here. It looks kind of light, and it is. It's also a really gorgeous one. This one I feel like definitely has kind of like a flip to it. I hope you you can see that. It as well has this really, it's weird. I feel like it definitely doesn't have as much sparkle as these other two here, but it has something that I'm in love with. It's so beautiful. I mean, these three here, dark blue, that turquoisey aqua in the shade. I mean, hello. That's another beautiful moment. I love that. And then something as well I did not mention, the fact that this palette is split evenly between the mattes and the shimmers. I feel like I've not seen that in quite a long time. So I'm actually really impressed by that. I really just love. I would love to know what you all think of this situation so far. And yeah, I think let's go ahead and jump on into the tutorial. All right, so we are nice and zoomed in for this look. I really just wanted to play with the blues and the purples. Kind of, this is the first look when I looked at this palette, I knew was a look that I wanted to create. I really do like I feel like the deepest shade is the blue. So if you know me, that is why I geared towards that. So I'm just gonna start off with that shade. The shade is Feline. I'm just using a small pencil brush and I'm just going to sketch underneath my eye. If you're new to my channel, whenever I am testing out an eyeshadow palette or just seeing how I feel about it, I will tend to do something pretty similar to how I normally do my makeup. That way, at least I'm being able to tell what I think of the formula and everything. So far, the mattes are behaving super well to what I know of them. Switching over to a bit of a fluffier brush, just a little bit more of that shade, just to fill in the rest of this outer corner here. I am trying to not take it as high as I normally do. I might have done it on this side, I don't know. I feel like I'm so used to doing a look the way that I do it that when I try to change it, I'm just like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Switching over to an even fluffier brush, I am gonna go ahead and dip in with our purple shade here, which is called Coven. Such a stunning purple shade. And actually by using it, I have noticed that it does have a very similar amount of depth as the blue, but I do feel like it still works well with the blue, but it kind of gives me hope that I can create my still dramatic, deeper kind of smoky looks still using this shade. So I am just going to go ahead and trace around my shape that I've already created. And then I'm also going to fill some of it in just where like the color part of our eye is. And I really do like how I feel like with adding in the purple shades, it really kind of transforms this navy blue, at least to my slightly colorblind eyes, to really make it just feel a lot more purple. So I do really appreciate how you were able to not just have to stick with that same color family. You can kind of switch it up and get a kind of different look, which I think is super unique. I'm also going to use a little bit of that shade just to blend out this lid shade here. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to, I'm going to use this even fluffier brush. I don't know if I fully love this one, but whatever. And we're going to use our lightest purple shade, which is called Cauldron. I love all the names in this. Definitely the witchy vibes that I'm looking for. And I'm just going to start taking this in the front part of my eye and all around the shape. So I guess we can start talking about how everybody's week is going. My week is going okay. I don't remember if I think I've talked about it a little bit on my channel, but I have a vacation coming up very soon. So by next Monday, when you are seeing this video, I will have already been off for a full day. I'm taking off 7 days. I am so freaking excited. We do have a decent amount planned. Like every day we are kind of doing something, which in a way I do love. I feel like for so long, I just haven't done that. Sorry, I need to blend my makeup as I am talking. Hello, let's multitask here. One thing I will say real quick is that if you are feeling like this darker purple is not going to blend out, just keep going in with more of that lighter purple cauldron shade. And as you're seeing, it is smoothing out. Like when I first did a layer of it, and maybe you saw that, it did not look like it was blending. But I think that the more that you layer up on top, and the shade does work really well with that other purple to be able to get it to blend. And I really don't feel like you lose that purple. I mean, like this blend, it's pretty freaking good. Back to my vacation. Yeah, I'm really excited. So the first thing that we are going to be doing is carving pumpkins, I believe. So we're going to go to a pumpkin patch. So apparently out here, so if you all don't know, I'm originally from California, but I've been living in Illinois for several years, and I have never had this treat that apparently is a thing out here, I guess, or it might just be a Midwest thing, I don't know, but it is a apple cider donut with ice cream, I think, like a sundae kind of vibe, and I've never had that in my entire life, but the moment I heard about it, I'm like, okay, yum, I low-key kind of want to have that, and I feel like the weather is still, like, at least out here, is still kind of warm. It's finally starting to become that, like, really beautiful weather that I feel like you want to be outside, so I am, like, so stoked that we are going on vacation literally at the absolute most perfect time. I'm just gonna take a clean brush just to soften everything out. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. We are going to be going to a haunted house, which it's funny because a haunted house is my idea because I don't know if any of you can relate to this. I love the idea of a haunted house only after I've survived it. I feel like it's like a scary movie. I love the idea of it only after I've gotten through it. And then I can rewatch it if I want to and kind of, depending on the movie, like if there's interesting things about it or again with the haunted house or whatever, I feel like it's like a roller coaster. I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of that mid-tone purple shade just to fix any of those that I feel like started to get blended away a bit. Yeah, I'm very like, I don't tend to like scary stuff until it's like I get through it and then I'm like, oh, I can kind of see the joy out of it. But I don't, like my sister, she loves to get scared. I don't know if I'd say I love to get scared. I think I love afterwards, the experience afterwards. I don't know if it's like that adrenaline kind of thing where it's like in the moment, I'm going to be like super anxious, but afterwards, I'm sure I'm going to be fine. And the part that I'm a little bit nervous about is that the haunted house itself it says it takes between 45 minutes to an hour to get through. And like, I don't know about any of you, like that's long. I've never gone to a haunted house that is that long. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start taking the shade Herbs, just a shimmery purple, popping that on the outer corner. This is definitely, I would say, kind of a more standard shimmer. It's still pretty, but I don't think it's anything like overly sparkly, which I tend to love. But it is a nice shade, I feel like, to transition between the two. I did put it on my lips a little bit too. I'm trying to find a good purple that works with this look, and I just can't. Like, I feel like it's missing, and I'm a little bummed, but hey, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and also dip in with the shade Oracle. This one is a lot prettier. I mean, hello, you can probably just even see. I'm not using a glitter glue. I did on this side, but I don't really feel like you need to. I always feel like glitter glues. I like them. And then like, I don't know, like I don't like that it's hard to like blend them out. Like I don't like that you can't like blend out the shimmer. At least that's just how I felt. I'm gonna take our lightest pink shade, which is called Hex. Also with my finger, pop that into the inner part of the eye. But anyways, yeah, back to the kind of haunted house. Yeah, I am excited, but I guess I'll more say I'm more nervous, to be honest about it. But it will be an experience that will be fun. It is a bit pricey. I think we got the VIP tickets, which are $60. I guess I never thought about it, that some haunted houses are just a bit cheaper. I don't know. While we're just chatting, I'm going to apply mascara because I forgot to do that. I was going to go in with the Essence False Lash or Lash Princess, whatever, mascara. Yeah, so I'm really excited for the vacation. I think I'm mainly excited to actually be able to kind of enjoy Halloween. If I did not say in past videos, we are doing it the week before Halloween because I just figured I probably wasn't going to get the week of Halloween, which is okay because, funny enough, the day after Halloween, I decorate for Christmas. I always take that off every year, so I am off that day as well. So I will be super excited for that because if you do not know, I've had my Halloween decor. I do it for my birthday, so it has been up since August 1st. So though I absolutely love my spooky Halloween stuff, I want to keep it up year round. I also really just enjoy putting up my Christmas stuff and filling in the more kind of festive. I mean, this is like my favorite time of year. I will say that I do feel like October, even though like we're early October as I'm filming this, it is the 13th, but it's like crazy. We're like almost halfway through. Like Fall literally just goes too fast. I feel like I'm gonna need to watch on a random. I'm gonna need to watch Stepmom today. I love that movie. If any of you are my age or have heard of it, it's like it's a sweet movie. That maybe just makes me think of fall, and I love it. And I haven't watched it in a while, I don't think. Okay, this is the completed look. Let me go ahead, zoom out a bit, and then we can finish talking about the details of the palette. Here is the finished result. I'd love to know what you think. I hope I didn't go too strong. I look a little crazy with the blush today because I just want to have fun. It is my day off. Why not? We'll go extra. But I feel like I just love to have fun with makeup. So I really do like how this turned out. I really do like this palette. I mean, hello. Just the cover art. I already talked about it, but it's so freaking pretty. The color story is so cute. The title, absolutely gorgeous. I am so happy that I do have this one in my collection. Definitely let me know down below what you do think of this palette, what you think of my thoughts, what you think of my video, I guess. Also, I will have some shorts and stuff coming out soon showing a lot more looks with this palette. I'm really trying to get better on that. I tend to I feel like I've been struggling, but I'm going to be a lot more better with my shorts. So definitely stay tuned for that if you want to see some more looks with this palette in particular. But yes, so subscribe if you want to see that. I hope you're having a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one. Okay, bye.